A new report says New Mexico needs to invest more to improve its roads. According to the TRIP report, 56% of major roads across the state are considered either poor or mediocre. In the metro, that figure jumped to 60%. TRIP report estimates that cost the average Albuquerque driver $1,000 in vehicle depreciation, repairs, tire wear, and other operating costs. The report says $5.75 billion is needed for projects identified by NMDOT, but many are not funded.
Deteriorating roads. Recent data shows 1/3 of all major roads across North Carolina are in poor or mediocre condition. Our business correspondent, Taylor Young, is in Charlotte tonight with how it's impacting drivers here in the Queen City.
As North Carolina continues to be one of the fastest growing states in the country, roads are seeing an unprecedented amount of wear and tear. In Charlotte, researchers found that drivers are paying hundreds of dollars because of poor road conditions.
Road conditions are a nationwide issue, but it is accelerating in North Carolina.
North Carolina faces a significant challenge in providing a reliable, safe, and well-maintained transportation system.
A transportation research team out of Washington used data from NCDOT and the Federal Highway Administration to break down exactly how much road conditions are impacting drivers. It found poorly paved roads are costing Charlotte drivers an additional $560 a year in repairs and fuel. The legislature passed a bill to provide a portion of the state's sales tax revenue to roads and highways. While it is expected to help, construction costs have doubled in recent years. And even though fuel-efficient cars like EVs are widely praised by lawmakers, they're reducing the effectiveness of the state and federal motor fuel tax.
The roads have to be there, they have to be safe, and they have to be reliable, and they have to be affordable. And diversifying our revenue sources further is essential to making all of that happen.
In the meantime,
it is a struggle Maryland commuters know all too well, staring at brake lights on the highway.
That's right. In fact, the new report today from a transportation research group is putting a price tag on Maryland's congested roadways.
Amy Simpson joins us live with more on this today. Amy?
Yeah, so this report says that Maryland's roads and highways are costing drivers both time and money. This report done by a group named TRIP, which is a national transportation research nonprofit group based in Washington, D.C. The group says that last year in 2022, when you add up the cost of delays, wasted fuel, and emissions, Maryland's congested roads came at a cost of $5.8 billion. Yes, billion with a B, or up to about $2,465 per driver.
Well, Amy, the pandemic certainly changed the way many people work and commute. What kind of impact did COVID have on traffic congestions in the region? Maybe there is a little bit of a silver lining here.
Yeah, it sounds like over the last few years there was a little bit of a silver lining. We know so many people were working from home, working remotely when they could. The report found that car travel here in Maryland dropped as much as 47% during the pandemic, but those numbers had already rebounded to within 5% of pre-pandemic levels as of last year. Reporting live tonight, Amy Simpson, Fox 45 News.
Report is out from the National Transportation Research nonprofit showing that New York's thruway system needs about $1.2 billion over the next 8 years to continue operation and to continue being safe. Our Capitol correspondent, Mail Talishi, taking a closer look at that report.
Whether it's potholes or bridges that need a little TLC, the New York thruway system requires maintenance and money. According to TRIP, travels among the 570-mile thruway system have returned to pre-pandemic levels and are expected to grow.
The thruway is one of the most critical pieces of infrastructure in New York State.
Our thruway system is critical. Funding comes from profits made from rest areas and tolls, which are expected to increase next January. Moretti says while the toll hike will help fund the $1.2 billion, it won't be enough. In a statement, a spokesperson for the New York Thruway Authority said in part, quote, "Today's report by TRIP is another indication of how critical it is for the Thruway Authority to increase revenue, as we do not receive any dedicated federal, state, or local tax dollars to cover the cost of operating and maintaining the Thruway. The Thruway Authority's #1 priority is the safety of our roadway. We are obligated to maintain our highway for the safety of all those who use it." Report